All right, we're going to do a real fast review of this microphone stand, which is the Neewer, I have no idea how it's pronounced, NB-39, and then also the Shockmount right there, which is the LyxPro, LyxPro MKS1-B. And so these two products, they're both $20 each, so $40 for the set. I have here mounted my monoprice USB condenser microphone. With the monoprice microphone came this desktop stand, heavy, iron base, whatever. This thing would pick up all sorts of vibrations, reverberations, anything, especially when typing. So you have a keyboard. I don't know if I have a mechanical keyboard, but any keyboard, it's just like, and it would just pick it up right in here. This thing totally solves that problem. So it's pretty cheap, I gotta say. It looks like it's the exact same boom arm from like a lamp. They have the same thing like that. So don't expect super quality, but it definitely gets the job done. I made a few modifications. So this thing is like, I guess 39 inches. So it comes out pretty far, as you can see there. That's definitely farther than I normally have it. So there's a smaller one. I opted for this larger one, and I think I made the right choice. I route the cable just kind of over this little thing. And as I said, I made a few modifications. So the first one I made was right here. Now this is the stock, this silver aluminum piece here is the stock piece that came with it, and it has the threads down here. Originally, however, it had these two little metal pieces, and what they would do, what they do is just clamp. So they go on either side of this thing here, like that. The other one would be on the other side, of course. And then this threaded thing and the knob would go, the threaded thing would go through here and clamp on this. Now that seemed like a serious problem to me because there's nothing that keeps it, if this thing gets loose, this could just straight up fall through. And then, of course, your whole expensive condenser microphone would just like fall off of there. And it just seemed wrong to me. So what I did was I took this on my drill press. I drilled a hole through this thicker aluminum part. Also, this thing was way long. I was like, why is it so long? I don't know. So I drilled it kind of through the middle there. And now there's no way it's gonna fall. It's still like loose, so this thing kind of, actually like pretty tight in there. It's not gonna go anywhere. The only problem I have is this thing kind of twists, but I kind of, it kind of sits and rests against there and doesn't really move around too much. So it's not, too bad. Definitely could be better, but what do you expect for $20? The second modification I made was here. So this is not stock. This is a long, machine screw that I put through here. I went and got some parts from the hardware store, bought some stuff, and I put that through there. The reason I did that is originally, this was like there was a bunch of like space in here. They didn't have spacers. They just put like a bunch of like washers. I don't know what those are. Washers, they're nuts. Washers. I don't know what they were thinking, why they did that. And this thing, it's meant to kind of go in. You can see it curves here, but it was like scrunched like way in, like way too much. And I was just like, that seems, again, wrong. Like, it was like bending this metal a lot, kind of springing in there, and that just seemed ridiculous. So I just got a new, machine screw, a new nylon lock nut on there. I bought these spacers. I wish they had metal ones, but they didn't. So I had to opt for these plastic ones. And then I actually had to sand them down a bit because they were too long. And you can see here, there's a little bit of space right there, but that's why I had to sand those, because if they were wider, this thing would not, lock in. It would, open up and then fall out. So that's the second modification I did. I'm pretty happy with that. I want to do this one as well, but it's like, it's fine. It's, nothing too wrong with it. By the way, all the stock stuff on here is metric, which is good. I like metric, but it's really hard to find here in the States. So I had to, do some old English threaded stuff on there. Let's see, what else? One thing that's nice to note, this one here has actually, you probably cannot see that at all. I'm sorry. Anyway, there's 3 holes, one there and one like right there, that this can go through. So originally it was in the middle position, which puts like a medium tension on this spring. And I was having problems because this is a pretty heavy microphone. It was having problems staying up. So it would just kind of like fall, So just know you can just undo these. You just kind of pull and take the spring off. these unthread. It's one piece. They thread into each other, I think. It's not one piece, two pieces. And then you can move it to like the further one to give the springs more tension or less. So that's something to note. And then the base is like, you know, pretty cheap. Let's go into here. It just has kind of a screwy thing like that, whatever. It stays on there pretty well good. This is like rough turning action. It's not like ball bearing smooth or anywhere near that, but it's fine. And then let's see, for this part, shock mount, pretty good, standard shock mount, you know, cheap. It worked well. It took me a bit to get this threaded on here, which was a little bit weird, but it was definitely the right threading. So I just had to kind of finesse it a bit to get it started right and not cross-threaded. And then something else of note, it's kind of not straight, I would say. So you can see it's kind of leaning to an angle like that, because where this attaches, this metal part here attaches to like the rest of it is like not straight. I don't know, some poor quality control, but it doesn't really affect the sound or anything. Just a little bit of visual. So that's that. And overall, I'm pretty happy with it. It reduces the vibrations from the table, and I can have it closer to my mouth, so that if I have, you know, I'm using like Mumble or TeamSpeak or whatever, the voice activation will more, you know, it'll pick up my voice, and I can make it so it doesn't pick up the keyboard, which is extremely nice. And then that's about it, actually. Oh yeah, there's also a windscreen. Whoop, real quick right here. There's this windscreen thing which I ordered. Also Neewer or Newer, whatever. This was like $7, $6.70, something like that. It's supposed to like clamp on like there, and then you bend the windscreen down, whatever. The pop filter, I guess, is what you would call it. I'm not using it. I found it pretty hard to get in the right position, because this thing doesn't really like, you know, it doesn't like to bend as much as you'd think. And then it just added extra weight. It was in the way. And I haven't really had too many problems with pops on this microphone. Maybe if I was doing, you know, some studio recording stuff instead of just talking in video games, voice chat, then I'd care more. But yeah, so not using this. Wasn't too expensive, so I don't really care. But in the future, if I knew, I wouldn't have ordered it. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed the review. See you next time.